All right, so in this stream, we're going to be talking about the beginnings of decoupling LunarVim away from Neovim's config. So that way we don't have to, well, you'll see. So now there's this command, and it's really not even like, anything serious. It's just like a bash script right now, which it'll probably always be a bash script, but anyway. So you do lvim, and then it opens up LunarVim, right? And also in this stream, we're going to be, reading chats, doing all that kind of stuff. I should probably talk about that first while people are still rolling in. So feel free to ask questions in the chat about LunarVim or whatever else you're interested in. A lot of people usually ask about like the windows and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll be doing that. Also, I'll probably be merging stuff and fixing things, and we're gonna need a new branch for the work I'm gonna do today. So when people roll in, we'll talk to them later. What's up, Super Malik? So, all right. Anyway, let's talk about this. So we got lvim, and what is lvim? Lvim is if we open up lvim here, it's literally just this. What's the issue with this line? Double quote to prevent globbing. Okay, well, see, shell check's installed, and it's letting me know that I actually should double quote this guy here, like that. So anyway, so this is the command right here. So what is it doing? It's using a different config place or whatever, directory, file, whatever. So it's using init.lua in .local share lvim init.lua. And we're passing it this command on startup, which is to set the runtime path to .local share lvim. Wait a second. Actually, I don't think we want to do that. Well, we actually... Oh, yeah, we do. We never mind. We do want to do that. We may not need to do that, but it can't hurt right now. So after doing this, we have that in the runtime path, and we're also using this as the directory now, or the file. This may also add that directory to the runtime path. Maybe it doesn't. But I'm doing that just to be safe. So now, if you go into, let's make this bigger a little bit too and show you what's happening here. If we go into .config, and if we go into nvim, almost none of LunarVim's config is here, just the plugin directory for the compiled Packer stuff. Now we're gonna get that out, but it's there right now, and we're gonna get that out. And so you'll be able to have your Neovim config completely separate from your LunarVim config, which is pretty cool. What's up, Algie? What's going on? How's my day been? A little long. What's going on, Cherry? And Santiago, always making it to the streams. What's going on, man? All right, so now, what am I doing? I know what I'm doing. What we need to do is we need to move this plugin directory to somewhere different. And then also we have to decouple Packer. When we decouple Packer and this plugin directory, LunarVim will be basically its own thing. We're also going to have to pass a thing for its own SHADA or whatever the hell that is. And maybe a couple other things, maybe its own logs or something. But for the most part, it'll be decoupled from Neovim, which will be nice. The other thing is, well, we're also going to have to start getting rid of some other runtime paths as well. So I'll show you what's going on with that as well. So we're going to have to talk about that, and then we're going to have to think pretty hard about some other things. But anyway, maybe we don't though. Maybe we don't have to think about that because those commands, you don't know what I'm talking about right now, but it's totally fine. You don't need to know. So .local, and if we go to share and we go to lvim now, this is where LunarVim's config will be. It'll be hiding in here away from you, right? And so the other nice thing about this is that if you go into .config lvim, the lv config lives in here, and also you can have .lua. You can have your own Lua directory in here where you can put all your own Lua stuff if you wanted to set up your own stuff or whatever, and we're going to be taking advantage of that. And you could also have your own FT plugins. Like if you make FT plugin, that'll also work for you. So you'll be able to do file type plugins in here as well. You'll be able to do all the normal things that you could usually do in a Neovim directory. Except for init.lua. Instead of init.lua, you have lvconfig.lua for LunarVim. And maybe we'll make it just lv.lua in the future, or maybe lunarvim.lua or something like that, but I think lvconfig is not so bad. What's going up? What's going up? What's going on, Landy? Great to hear again. Yeah, I think we got something cool today to kind of show off. It will be big changes after this, though. I might actually just pull out a branch literally just for this. We're going to have to change a wide amount of things to make this work, but it will be a much better experience because people will have their own Lua directory. They'll have their own config there. They'll have everything, and then you can manage your LVim directory, and then you could just pull it down, or you could pull down other people's, and it'll just work, which will be really cool. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to be doing to implement a lot of this. It'll be pretty rough to start with. We're going to need to go open up a branch for this, though. So where am I right now? I think I'm in my home directory with a bunch of nonsense and junk. Yep. So if we go into .local, share LVim, all right, we're on rolling. We're going to just do a git checkout, and we're going to check out decoupling, like that. All right, so we're on a new branch. Another thing I will do is this, so you can see what I'm typing. And let's see what we got here. We're only changing, oh yeah, we don't want to actually do that. And for this, yeah, that's probably fine. At first I'll probably make it an alias. So yeah, so let's go take a look at where is it? Init.lua right here. And I'm actually gonna make it a little bit smaller so I can see more. So what we're doing is we will be deleting this from the runtime path when whatever we do LVim. And let's see what actually that does. See how nothing here is working for Packer now when we do that? That's because the Packer is still pointing over there. So we're going to need to point Packer somewhere different. And I'm pretty sure we can do that. So let's do that. So now if I get rid of that and then we do LVim, because it's the last thing we really have to do, then we're good. We have LunarVim, right? So let's see. Chow, what's up, Mello? So let's see. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Packer docs really fast. Packer and Vim. All right. And we're going to just scroll here. Now we have a compile path, so we can choose our own compile path. And we have a package root, and so we're going to change the package root as well to live with LunarVim. Yeah, this should work. And plugin package will be Packer, the default package for plugins. That should be fine. I don't think we have to change that. And then we can just basically hide Packer almost completely. Yeah, okay. So let's grab these two lines here. Should Packer install plugin dependencies? Yeah, okay. There's probably other interesting things you can do with this, like auto reload compile. Automatically reload the compiled file after creating it. Yeah, that's probably useful to do. Okay, it's already on true. Default to using opt as opposed to start plugins. All right, I don't think we need to do any of that, but anyway. So let's go take a look at this now. So we're going to do, what did I just do? Yeah, okay. We're going to do LVim, Lua, plugins. I think we have a weird way. All right, these are all the plugins now. And then this is I know this changed recently. And this is the kind of stuff people don't really need to pay attention to. So we have this loader. Now we must be initializing this somewhere. So this is the plugin loader init. where are we? Okay, here's where we're initting Packer. So we actually need to go copy and paste this stuff again. So let's grab this here. All right, and paste that in there. So before we even do the package root, because that's probably a little more violent, also we have this util class here. So why don't we just do this? Boop, boop, boop. Put that there, and then we'll do local util equals that. Why it doesn't like that? Undefined global local. One second, I'll figure it out. I don't know why that's not happy with that. Am I missing something? What am I missing? Sometimes when you're moving in between languages pretty often... Oh, wait. This has to be there. Okay. I'm like, why is this not... And then I'm like, okay, am I in Java? Because, like, this is like a function. It's kind of like, you think like curly braces. You're like, oh, I can put stuff in curly braces. And you realize in Lua, like, that's a table. You can't put stuff like that in there. So now we got Lua, we got utils there, and then we can just, like, go like this. And then we can just do util for that as well. So now we got util, and then we can uncomment this, and this is the package root, the compile path. So for the compile path, what we're going to do is we're going to say it's not going to be there, plugin, compiled, blah, blah, blah. So actually what we want to do is change this to just be .local/share LVim, like that. I don't know if we're going to need another slash or not. But now if I save that, watch the errors just... Alright, what if I do packer compile? Okay. Alright. It's just worked. I'm usually pretty wary when things just work. I don't usually experience that a lot. Like RF plugin. Look at that. This is Neovim using this config. And this is LVim using its config, which is a little screwy because of my command. So it'll always open this because it's looking for a file to open. But that's fine. That's not a big deal at all. Because we could just do like LVim thing. We'll just do thing.lua or something like that. And it works, and then we could just do like nvim, now thing.lua, which is right there. So you can see you got two different things where you can have that and this at the same time, and it's no problem. Now we just have to change the packer path. So cool. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool when I was thinking about it. What's up, Brian? Than, what's going on? What languages have out-of-the-box support for autocomplete format? Most of them. Most of them. Unless you're into like weird stuff. Some weird languages that, I don't know. Tell me, name your languages and I will tell you if they work out of the box. I think I know pretty much every single language and how it works with LunarVim at this point, like how well it works. Not how to like program in every language, but you understand what I'm saying. Like I know basically what's going on with it. So now what you'll do is inside of LVim, this is your config now. And you have full control over it. You don't have to see all the craziness that's going on with LunarVim. You don't need any of that. It's just it's its own thing now. So, all right, that's pretty good. Now the next thing is Lua plugin loader. And this thing just calls the function. Yeah, I like this better. I do like this better. All right. Let's see. There's an install path. We need to change the install path. And also then we need to change the package root. Okay, so let's do that. So that worked. Let's do this, and then we will uncomment this. And we'll just have Packer like be right here with us, I guess, which will probably be fine. So we'll do, instead of this, and instead of that, we'll do like this. And then, well, really it would just be we'll grab that guy, pop him in there, and I guess we could just put it in pack inside there. That would probably be fine. And then when things aren't there, we need to put things in here, and that's in site packer. We could just put it under packer. We're gonna have to figure out exactly how this is gonna look. Cause all right, this data deal here is gots to go, and then it's gonna equal local share LVim, and then it should just be under pack, I think, in this scenario. And then local share LVim pack, and then this is packer start, put this guy there. All right, there will be failures. Okay. Expected worse failures. I feel like we should remove the plugin, because that's got to be still looking for things in the wrong place. Then if we do packer install, okay. Now we should see something like pack in here, which we do, and we see packer, and then we have opt and start. And now if we do packer compile, and so then technically if we then go into dot local share nvim, and if we go into site for this, let's go back one and just clean some stuff up. So like, we don't need LVim here. DApp install and LSP install I'll probably just leave under nvim for now. I don't really know how to move them for now. And we'll probably do our own SHADA. And then if we go into site, if maybe not, I mean, you can share it. I don't know what the problem, but I don't know. We'll probably ask someone who has an opinion. And if we go into pack, we go into, well, we should just be able to do rm-rf packer now. All right, and now nvim, regular nvim, lvim is still in pain. All right, so let's figure out what's wrong with this. Packer compiled, pack add directory not found, pack path. I don't know if we need that line anyway. It's nice that I have nvim now too to kind of work with. So if I go to do Lua and then I do plugin loader, we have this. Now it could be from pack add or something like that, because the package root changed, so you would think that would be fine. I don't know if we need this because we put it in to start. All right, hold up. Error while processing that. Error while calling on line 14 plugin loader, which is a nil value. This is line 14. And we are requiring that. All right, we don't have Packer now. Maybe chat knows. Python and JavaScript work out of the box. What's up? Chang? Maybe? I don't know. Chain G? Is someone showering or is that rain? It's just like rain noises. Chris, are you planning to implement or use a plugin to execute code or any idea on good ones to use? There's a good amount. I'll probably get more into them later. Hi, I love your work. How can I make Telescope use vertical layout strategy? I'll show you that. Also, the highlighting while searching seem not to work. Only highlights initial. You can change that in LV config. When I have documentation, I will teach you how to do both of these things. By the way, I didn't show you the new website. I don't know how many people are watching right now, but the new website, because there's not really a lot on the site right now. But if you go to lunarvim.org, right now it's not secure. I gotta really set that up with HTTPS and all and enforce it. But you get the docs here. You get installing. We're gonna be going like having that here. It's got pagination, so you can move between the two. We're gonna talk about all the languages we support and how to work with them. How to install modules like for your own thing. I'm gonna have a thing for developers so they can help. We're gonna have a community tab, which will just be links to all the places and stuff. Sponsors page, so everyone who's a sponsor will get listed out here, and then you can link to the GitHub. And then the most important thing is you have a dark and a light theme here, which is very important. So yeah, so this is the new docs. I forgot that it's not really the docs yet, but it will be soon. Let's see if we can figure this nonsense out, though. Thanks for making this. It's awesome. Yeah, no problem. I need it for myself, too. Does init actually return something? Good question. We're going to have to look at it. Have you seen Fennel? I've heard people configuring Neovim with it. Would that bring any advantages? Nah, it wouldn't bring any real advantages, except for if you like Lisp, I guess. It's awesome, a true VS Code killer in my case. I really hope so for people who like Vim. By the way, why does Lua LSP always report O as undefined global object when looking in Lua files? Do you have Lua check installed by any chance? If you have Lua check installed, I'll explain why. You can just tell me right now, and then I'll show you why. And when I come back and read chats again, I'll explain why. So if we could get this last piece figured out, then we should be good. So, all right. Error while calling this guy. Attempt to index local plugin loader. A nil value. But why? Maybe it's because something fails. If we go to Lua plugin loader. Because this pack add, I don't know where this puts it. This is putting it in the right spot. Might as well just use util here. All right, this puts that in plugin packer compile. Okay, that's fine. This puts my packages in there. So in the install path, which should be .local home.local share lvim packer start packer.mvim. That's the install path. It puts it in there. And then, yeah. Maybe it just doesn't get to this part down here where it actually returns. This is some odd syntax here. Anyway, so, all right, so, oh, whoops, let's save this. Hold up. Yeah, I don't have Packer. But if you look here, all of them are here. Right? So I'm not sure why that is. Hey Chris, I think disabling some unnecessary built-in Neovim plugin could help to increase LunarVim speed. They are actually disabled if you take a look. You can't disable them fully, but you can. It'll say it's sourcing them, but you can cut them off at the knees during the sourcing. And if you look at the config, it already does do that. I have some other ways to speed up LunarVim in the future that I'm not taking advantage of right now because I don't really have the time. But yeah. As far as I know, I just installed LunarVim via your install script. Additionally, just the Lua LSP and tree sitter for LSP. Lua check doesn't ring any bells. Interesting. But where did you learn Lua, or which resources did you use? I never really learned Lua other than just playing around with this config. I learned it while I was doing this, so I don't really even know that much Lua. I don't think I know Lua that well. Happens when the global variable has a nil value, probably because one of the two global variables is a typo or something. No, I don't think that's it. Yeah, always a global table. Yeah, that only really showed up for me when we introduced Lua check. I think it's, I want to say it's the new linting stuff that's saying that. Look at the .lua check RC. Maybe it comes built in with some Neko Lua somehow. I have no idea. But look at the new Lua check RC that we have under utils and put that in your directory. Is LunarVim supposed to be more advanced than normal Neovim? No, not really. It just adds an IDE layer on top, so it's definitely not more advanced than normal Neovim or anything. It's just more out-of-the-box features, kind of, that I think most people want. And if I could just fix this, then we'd be done, but with most things, at least. I don't know why this is. I don't know why plugin loader. I have no idea. Okay, we require all the plugins, then we try to do this, but then the plugin loader returns nil when we try to run init. And that returns nil because this is new, so it returns nil because maybe this. But if we return if we before that, if we do print yep, that's where we end up. Ah, nightmare. Okay. So we're returning here, which means when we do require Packer, it's not, if not Packer, okay. Well, let's see if we can kind of get past this. See what happens. Should fail in a different way. But you would think, because all right, saying Packers not found. But if we look, it should be in start, right? So that is there. Like we put it right into start. The question is the package route correct? And that's what we don't know. Should it also be, like, why do I need all this shit? Like, should it also be Packer and then put pack here? Like that? I'm not sure. Hey, Chris is, yeah. Another thing is key mapping CT cause problem if the user wants to use FCF. Control T and, yeah, I didn't think about that. That's true. Well, you know, we're working through these things. Save the require in a local, then use it to call init then load. Well, we know why it's failing now. It's failing because there's no way to pick prettier D. And well, we have ESLint. We have ESLint D. We have local prettier, global prettier. We have local ESLint, global ESLint. I guess the last thing we're missing for these JavaScript maniacs is prettier D. And we will add prettier D. Don't worry, it's not that hard to add. But you guys have so much tooling. You have to erase the Packer. Oh, maybe it's the Packer compiled file. Yeah. Maybe it's that. No, we don't have that yet. We don't have that yet. So it's not that. It's not that. Let's think. All right, so there is another thing that we do there. I don't think that this is like important, but if we do pack add packer.nvim, and if I do, it's not like I get anything out of that. Oh wait, this isn't. Leave me alone. Pack add packer.nvim. Yeah, I still don't get anything. Okay, installs packer.nvim in the install path. The install path being that, so that on start that should work. And the reason that it doesn't is because, okay, what is the normal package route? It's usually just site and then pack. Why does he put commas? Join paths? Why wouldn't you just write out the path? Is it important that there's site there? Maybe we'll try to put site. Put site pack there. Do I have to put it somewhere separate other than like this runtime directory? Does LunarVim support TypeScript? Yep. Seems most Neovim users use JavaScript. Yeah, it does seem that way. A lot of people use. I have like a sample size of the community now, kind of. A lot of people use Python, Rust, and JavaScript and TypeScript. And Go. usually works for me, but I mean, it put it there. No, I mean it works. It works for this too. Like it does put the compiled Lua in the right spot when I use that. I don't know why the package root. It's not picking anything up. You know? And now Packer... Oh, wait a second. Well, we can't even get past the util here, but this would have also failed. I wonder if it's because... Like, if you look at, Okay. No. If you look at, and runtime path. So you'll see that this is what's on the runtime path right now. This shouldn't be on Neovim's runtime path. I don't think we're in Neovim right now though. So this is on the runtime path because that's not getting to the thing to take it off. XDG NVim, home Chris, .local share NVim site. Let's try this. Where are we? All right. So we'll put this here. And we will comment this guy out. And then what we'll do is we'll put pack. We'll namespace it LunarVim _ pack. All right. And then what we'll do is we'll take this out or put it back. And then, yeah. I feel like there's something that should have happened there. Oh, I know. The install directory. We're gonna do what used to be there. So, I mean, we know what the path is. Share, it should be nvim site pack, but instead it'll be lunar pack. I'm gonna do that. That executes this, and then you try to do this, but then it fails. Okay, 1 second. You could just run, yeah. All right, might be wrong, but yeah. One Java using outlier here. Yeah, I use Java too, actually. I use it for work. I think pack star start is what's important. Is it hard-coded to look for an NVim, though? I don't know. Maybe get rid of the that and then that and start all over again. That's an idea. Yeah, I know that's home. I know that. I'm saying, like, I don't think that tilde is a problem, right? Hey, what's up, Zed? All right, so we just got to get this working. So we could technically just put this back, prove that that works again. And then we could just figure out exactly what the issue is. So maybe we could print that out anyway. So if we do that, and if we put that here, and then we get rid of that one for now, and then have that's like the standard one. So then if we take this and come up here with it, and data should take you all the way to, I think, I don't even know actually anymore. One second, we're gonna have to pull up my thing. This is tricky. Like, it's just like kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but okay, so data brings you there. Because I remember trying to do this before and it didn't work for me, and I'm like, whatever, I'll try it again later when it's important, and now that it's important, yeah. All right, so now if we come down here, paste that there, we'll just we'll get rid of that. It'll put it there. We have the normal way of doing it there. All right. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because it puts it all in the right spot. What if the... Nah, because we don't even get that far. What the hell, man? How does it even know? Unless it's in the runtime path, which this might be, but... maybe we'll get rid of this root here. Failed to index global packer, a nil value on line 23. And I know why that actually might be. That's this. That's fine. So now if we did packer, we have packer now. So, okay. But I don't want to do any of the compiling. So now when we put it here, it's cool about that. Can I put it in LunarVim pack? And will it still be cool about that? That's fine. It seems like it's still cool about that. Seems to be when I try to move it from here. Like if I grab this, I'll just make myself a note. Working. Now if I then take this here, get rid of all that, and put it could just be that like site's in the runtime path, but this is in the runtime path too, but then like if we look at echo and runtime path again, like it looks like that's like in the runtime path, like okay, home chris.local share mvim site, that's in the runtime path. Home chris.local share mvim site, that is also in the runtime path. User local share mvim site is in the runtime path. User share nvim site, okay. User share mvim runtime, user share mvim runtime pack dist op match it. User lib nvim, user share nvim site after, user local share nvim site after, dot local share nvim site after, home chris config nvim after, and then this is there too. This is normal nvim, I'm pretty sure. Is this normal nvim? Yeah, this is normal nvim. So that's what's there. So site is always in there. That's fine, but that should be fine because so is this. But if we do .local and then we do share and we do lvim, and then if we bring this down to pack, maybe the thing on top, yeah, but lvim is the thing that's in the thing. So now if we try that, whoops. Yeah. Now, like if I do, all right, so now that it's found that, then it shouldn't have any problem with me going into nvim site and blowing away lunar pack, blowing away LunarVim, maybe that's why I screwed LunarVim pack, and blowing away pack. Yeah, now it's got a problem. So let's, all right, whatever. So let's take a look at, so now that thing came back nil, so it doesn't want to look here for some reason. So if we go to echo and runtime, it's funny because home chris.local share lvim is in the run, it's like it's in the runtime, same as home chris.local share mvim site is. Maybe I should put my own site. What do you think? I wish I could go back to working with Java, but alas, I have to work. Dude, switch jobs with me. Yeah, you probably are 1 in a million. Java's horrible. Yeah. Bad code, that is true too. But, dude, when you work at a big enterprise and code just kind of gets shoved in there, it's like, eh. Python's great for some stuff. It's just not my thing. For work, I would rather write in Python, for sure. Like, maybe if I could think of something to do with my own space, because it's just easier. And Java does have old syntax that's just not, like, you don't need, like, Kotlin is just just I would rather write everything in Kotlin at this point. And ultimately, like, just working with Java without Lombok is, I don't care what you do, your classes are like gonna be redundant and just hideous. You know, like your Pojos, right? So, what's up, Derm Dorm? Hola. All right. How about we try and add a site and try to do like a similar thing? So, where am I? I'm in this. So this is fine, kind of, because what we actually want is we want to put this then in site, and then now our package root. Wait a second. Yeah, I guess it doesn't even matter when you get down to here. You need to get down to there first. Like, you actually need to get here. I feel stupid, but... Lua plugin loader. Packstar opt. Why would it be opt? Okay, we're running the same problem. If it's saying opt, shouldn't I be putting this thing in opt then? Like, instead of start, like, can't I just do like that? Packstar opt packer dot and the home chris.local share lvim init.lua. Yep, we get to the same place. We do try to do the pack add. And plugin loader, and it says directory not found in pack path. That. Okay, maybe it's a pack path thing. Maybe we need to add something to the pack path. Because what's that? I don't even know that was a thing. Pack path. Ah. Okay. Let's do that. I'm assuming that looks the same way as normal. So, yeah, that's going to work. So if we do nvim init.lua, and we, at the top of this guy, pop that there, and we set the pack path to be normal, and plus this slash, local slash lvim slash share slash lvim slash site, like that. There we go. And now if we do packer install, and then if we after that do packer compile, that's it. That's it. It's a pack path thing. What window manager do I use? I use DWM. What's up, Greg? Yes, it is DWM. Only true Vim users go through such struggle to make a better tool for themselves, and in this case for us. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think there's all kinds of levels for Vim people. So I think we have that working now. Yeah. So LunarVim can be its own thing, totally decoupled. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're going to have to push all this, and we're going to have to change the installer and everything. Make sure that it works, and yeah. I don't care about that at all. So, cool. This is a pretty good first pass. The other thing is going to be the command. We're going to need like an alias that's going to have to be written to a bash RC or Z shell RC or, God forbid, fish. Fish just makes my life so hard. Zoomer shell. You think Z shell would be Zoomer shell, but fish is Zoomer shell. But yeah. And then we can pop this guy in its own thing, and then yeah, like it's in its own package, and then we're basically done. So if we do lazy get really fast, we didn't have to do much. I don't even know why it's called site. I think actually I'm going to change the plugin thing to be in LVim. Lua plugin loader. What's the issue? Okay. I don't know why that didn't autosave or like auto format. I'm gonna have to revisit that. So I think we're okay with this stuff. Wait. Package root. Oh, maybe it worked because I didn't I didn't put the other package thing, but what am I missing? Wait. I don't know, I'm confused. Well, it got down to here, but the init. Well, yeah, but okay, so it found that though. So that's fine. I wonder now if I have Packer. I do. Okay, whatever. I wonder what that, whatever. So now what we have to do is we have to change this to this. And then we have share LVim packer. But what we actually want is site/pack like that. Okay. And let's go make sure that we're not cheating. We are cheating. All right. Okay, and it's going to try and do that. So, yeah, that's fine. We weren't cheating that hard. It's not the end of the world. Local share LVim. And then LVim Lua. No. Well, yeah. It's just going to complain about stuff. So we actually want this to go to start. And then we want, yeah, that's fine. Now this is complaining about Yeah, that's just stupid. That's not... I've seen that problem before. One thing would be... Another thing will be to go into site, pack, rm-rf packer, and now install this stuff. Compile it. And go into now site, pack, packer, start. Okay, now all these guys are here. Now again, let's make sure we're not cheating. Where am I? Nothing. All right, awesome. So yeah, so we're using our own packer there. So that's good. So we have our own like place for packer. So that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Let's see. LunarVim got me back to Vim from Emacs. It's coming along nicely. Still using Emacs for org mode though. Well, we got things like neorg and org mode.mvim, which obviously are not as good as, you know, Emacs's org mode, but I mean, not that I really use org mode for anything. What the hell is the appeal to org mode? Can someone make me a video on like org mode and like showing me why it's cool? Or maybe I should just look them up. Using SpaceVim, which is inspired by Space Emacs, but currently migrating to LunarVim. Yeah, SpaceVim. I try not to be too hard on SpaceVim because like I get the appeal of doing everything that they did. Like I understand that, but I feel like they went down a road and they snowballed out of control with SpaceVim. And so I think the question you really need to ask yourself when writing timeless software is not even timeless, because there's no such really thing as timeless software, but software that, like, I don't know, like they needed to remove a lot more. They needed to get rid of a lot of things. And they just keep tacking on more and more and more and more. Like LunarVim, once it's like out there, like we're going to cut down the code base by as much as we can and get rid of everything that we can. Like if 80% of the community wants to get rid of a feature, we're going to get rid of a feature, you know? I want more people saying get rid of this rather than add this. Look for System Crafters. Yeah, I already know System Crafters. Maybe I'll watch his org mode video. He seems like a good guy to learn that from. Thing of SpaceVim is you can't uninstall plugins. Oh, yeah. Well, LunarVim you actually can. So, and you can disable them entirely if you want, for the most part, and that's the plan at least. So yeah, we're gonna have that ability. I think how many plugins does SpaceVim have? LunarVim's trying to keep it around. I want to keep it around 20 tops. Ideally, I think it could be like 15. Thoughts on MV Chad? I think it's very pretty. I don't think it's trying to do what LunarVim's trying to do. LunarVim's trying to be an out-of-the-box IDE for any language. NVChad works for, I think, Bash, JavaScript, and something else, like maybe Python or something. And it's not as in-depth, and it doesn't have as many people in the community working on it. So, I don't know. There's some auto-installed and others optional. Yeah, we have a few that are going to be auto-installed. Doom is pretty good at letting you enable slash disable stuff, but also has lots of plugins. Yeah, but that's the problem, though, is trying to scale that is a huge, giant pain. So what my thinking is to do this. You ship with as little plugins as you possibly can for a good experience, and then you do something like this, where you can just have the user pull in their own plugins. Just pass in a big list of all the plugins that you want, and that's it. So if you want to use Tokyo Night, just pull it in. If you want to use signature.nvim, just pull it in. You know what I mean? And then we just give you what you need out of the box. You know? And then I also don't want to interrupt your nvim. I still want you to have plain Neovim. You know? Because I think that's important too, is I don't really want to hijack your Neovim experience. Yeah, MV Chat. I just don't think MV Chat is trying to do the same thing LunarVim is trying to do. But it is pretty, though. It's good inspiration for making a pretty config. Doom is pretty good. Yeah, got to get rid of the ladybug. Well, we don't have the ladybug. We have the other bug. And I like the bug. I'm not getting rid of the bug, but you can change the bug if you want to. Yeah, that works great. 99% of what I already use is there. What are you talking about? Just Go and Rust. LunarVim should work for Go and Rust. What do you think of Vim 9? Do you think you'll ever use good old Vim? I don't see anything wrong with good old Vim. I just see Vim as its own thing. Vim is really good for, like, Vim is installed on everything. So when I get done with LunarVim, I plan on doing like what I really want to do is Vim with no plugins. None at all, right? I want to like just write a really good Vim config with no plugins at all. And I might even go get some plugins, right? And just bake them in. You know what I mean? Like not use a plugin manager, but just put them in the auto load. You know what I mean? And do something like that. Like ones that are old and time tested, like T-Popes and stuff like that. And then just like have that there that I can just pull in whenever I want. But Vim 9, no, I don't care. Honestly, unfortunately it's irrelevant in my mind. Nobody wants to write Vim script. And why would you want to learn? This is my thinking. It's just my thinking, you know what I mean? Is there a way, like in Vim, when you come back to the same file to open where you were? Yeah, you could have a plugin for that. What is your problem with the ladybug? Dude, I gave the option for the ladybug, all right? LunarVim is already there for what I do. Oh, awesome. The ladybug stays. It stays in your config. What's up, Roger? How do you decide? I think Neovim, Vim, and LunarVim can actually all exist perfectly together, right? Neovim is like if you're just trying to like just do something super, super fast. Like if I'm just trying to like change something like user, share, Pac-Man, right? And then like if I want to change like I think is it under here? It's somewhere. Maybe it's an Etsy Pac-Man conf or something like that. Like if I'm trying to change this to something like just, you know what I mean, just a quick thing, I'll just use plain Neovim. You know, why not, right? And then if I'm trying to write some code, I'll use LunarVim with all the stuff, right? And then if I'm on some legacy system, I have Vim. And there you go, right? Like they can coexist. I don't hate Vim, I just hate Vim script. I obviously love Vim. How do you decide what to get rid of when there's a lot of conflicting opinion? Well, that's why you have to have some, unfortunately, this is the way the world works, whether anyone really likes it or not. You kind of just need someone who's very opinionated at the top. And that's me right now. And if there's conflicting opinion, ultimately, like, I just get a feel for what I think the community actually wants. and I use Vim. I've been using Vim for years, and I also have been writing code for years. So like I know what I want, and I know what people who write code want when they're in an IDE, and then I also know what people who just want regular Vim want. They want everything to be like obviously fast. Obviously, they want all the LSP and IDE features. Like they want linting. Like when you're in an IDE, you want linting, you want LSP, you want formatting. That's the big ones. Super nice to have is debugging, and then other nice to haves that are kind of non-negotiable are fuzzy finders. I think 80 to 70 to 80, maybe 60 to 80% of people want the tree on the side. I would say 90 to 100% of people want something like telescope. Tree sitter, that's again like 90 to 100 people. 100% of people are not going to fight me on that. Trying to think of like what else is there. A terminal, that the built-in terminal's okay, but I think the other one is much better because it doesn't clutter up your buffer space. Most people want like a line at the bottom. Most people want the bar thing at the top. But the nice thing is those built-ins, because I try to keep them so minimal, is that you can just disable them. Like you can just say disabled. I don't want the bar. I don't want MVim tree. I don't want any of this stupid shit. I just want tree sitter, LSP, linters, formatters. That's all I want, right? And if that's all you want, you got it. You can turn off the other ones, totally fine, no problem, you know? So yeah. Yeah, Vim script was the only thing holding me back. That's what I think it was. He could have just chose a real language, you know? Yeah, Lua just came naturally to me, I feel like, with this. MVim's LSP improved at all recently. Yeah, it's actually really good. It's actually just as good as VS Code's. Like, just as good. And for moving around text, it's obviously 1,000,000% better. How can I, in NVim, open a file where was... look up last place and then just add it as a plugin. Hey there, can I add the LunarVim config to VS Code? Can you please showcase it real quick? I can't right now because there's a couple small things. I will try to do that later in the future. Is VimSpectre going to be a built-in one? Nah, we're going to be using NVim DAP for debugging. What's up, Krishna? I think it's a scarab beetle now. I think that's what it is. Many successful open source projects have a single source of truth. Think EvanU from Vue.js or Laravel. Even with Braum, yeah, Braum with Vim, right? Like, I think it's important to have someone opinionated at the top and just to make those big decisions, because most of the decisions, honestly, I still let the community completely make. Like, you know, someone yelled at me for having too many plugins, and I was like, you know what, you're right. And then I deleted like 15 of them. And then a lot of the, like, you ask ABZ Coding, he just merges shit sometimes. Like that whole plugin loader thing, like I didn't write any of that. I was like, iffy about it. Didn't, you know, it was okay. I was like, okay, it's fine. And then the community, just the people who I decided to add to the repo, they merged it, and I'm not going to change it. And then I looked at it, and you know what? I kind of like it. You know, I actually do like it. So, yeah, it's still a community thing for sure, but I don't know how to put it. It just kind of works, you know. Just make Vim in C. Yeah, that'll be fun. I use Awesome WM, which also uses Lua, so it feels at home. Yeah, it is nice. DAP UI, when it's not experimental anymore, I plan on making that a built-in as well. But you could obviously pull it in, and it should just work, right? You have your own Lua folder now, once I push this up. Do you know how to get symbol search for files? If you don't know what I mean, it's called go to symbol in editor in VS Code. I do know what you mean, and there is symbol search. Just look up the LSP API for symbols. Will you upload this later to your channel? Probably. Sometimes I have to get rid of them because I'll say something off color. And I'm like, I'm not going to upload that one. Most have 5 plugins. What, most config? People who have configs? I think most people have way more than 5 plugins. I think a lot of people have like especially with this whole like Lunar or Neovim thing. There's like 5 plugins are just like the absolute bare minimum amount of plugins that you kind of need, because you already need Packer, then you're going to need Plenary and Pop-Up. Those are already 3, and then you probably are going to need like the LSP config, and then likely Telescope. If you wanted just 5 plugins, those would be, if I was limited to 5, but now I can't even have Tree Sitter, right? So if you limited yourself to 6, I think 6 would be livable, you know? Anyway, let's finish some of this stuff now. So, I'm trying to think about what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like some of this stuff is a little bit broken for the install. I'm gonna have to like write a new installer and things. Local share nvim. No. LVim. Now what we need to do is we'll do lazy git. Yeah, that seems right. That's fine. Okay, so now let's do lvim init.lua. I don't need that. We'll leave that there. Those guys there. Got the runtime path. We actually need to now do this one. Now it's fully decoupled. So now nvim won't bother you. So when you add something in there, it won't change anything in LunarVim. And we could actually get rid of more things. We're going to have to get rid of something for the pack path. So we're going to have to set pack path to that, and then we're going to have to actually minus share nvim site. That way that doesn't bother us. And yeah. Some of this stuff might break Windows support because of the config path being like this relative, or not relative, but like it's kind of Unixy. So that's trouble for Windows. But I think if you're on Windows that you should get off Windows, or at least use subsystem for Linux. Work is relative, yeah. Can I monitor variables in DApp? Yes, you can. Just, I think the best way to do that would actually be with the UI thing that someone was talking about up here. DevToy, yeah, he was talking about that. Look up the DApp UI. That's probably the best way to do it. Do I have OMIZ shell? No, very anti OMIZ shell. Symbol search for files should be the default under leader S search namespace. I can make a PR if you want. Yeah, sure. You can make one if I don't already have it. I don't think I do have it. So, yeah, why not? Did you say we're getting our own custom Lua folder? You already have them now. Well, not totally, but with this change, yeah, you already got it. Check this out. You got your own config. It's an LVim. So you got your own Lua folder. And then you got lv.config in here. And the changes that you make, whoops, in this, I was like, is that my command? Changes that you make in here. This is the Lua check thing that's doing that, by the way. So like this is mutating blah 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 undefined global variable, but the Lua check thing is, it'll do the same thing with Vim. Like if we do something like Vim dot nil or something like that, or what is complaining? Expected expression Vim dot, stop being painful. G dot this thing equals, or at least it should have. I don't know why it doesn't. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see. We still have this, right? Like we still have all of this stuff. So like if I do like LSP dot and then something else. Oh wait, does it not give you the other things? Like the, one second. O dot. We might have to revisit this. Because if I go to like default options, oh yeah, it doesn't seem to like know about it. So that's going to be trouble. Let's think about how we solve that. Krista. Oh, yeah. Also, that's looking for these files. Yeah, we have to change that as well. Okay, it does read these. That's interesting. Because we're in the runtime. So you would think it would know about it. All right, let's go find out in a different place. Because it's using that file, but that file is no longer co-located with a lot of the code. Also, we're going to have to change Lua, LV, utils, this, and where we source things. First, we're going to get rid of that because it seems to be complaining a lot. Also, we're going to change this to LVim. And yeah. But also, this is now .local share. I don't know how to change that, but local, whoops, local share. And that's LVim. Yep. All right, so now we got this thing which sources the config again when you save. This one which sources the plugins, the settings, formatter, and then it runs these things. So let's at least see that that works. So we're going to do this. That's fine. So now if I change the cursor line to false, I get rid of the cursor line. If I change it to true, it comes back. All right. So now the question is, how do we get O recognized here? I have a couple ideas. I think some Neko, we could probably add some Neko. Like we could add our own place with the, yeah. Yeah. So like if you look at some Neko Lua, I think we could do this. So if you look in Lua, Lang, to get the Vim stuff working, you have to do expand runtime Lua and like this LSP stuff. Like this global thing too. So what if I put O here? All right, seems not to care, but I still think it won't grab everything. Yeah, it still doesn't get everything. So it's still not totally aware of that, but at least that problem's gone. Yeah, I have my own package manager. Maybe I'll just show people my package manager. Like later on, like I'll just like publish it. Like it's like 9 lines of Z shell, and it's superior to my Z shell. Just MK doesn't think DApp gained traction to stick around to be built into NVim. TJ thinks it's interesting but not ready, and thinks they I don't think it should be built into NVim yet, but I think it needs a lot of work, but I think people can work on that more when they have something like LunarVim, so that they don't have to. I'm inventing a thing, not the wheel, but like the first thing, so that you don't have to deal with all the stupid bullshit anymore. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there'll be a better LunarVim, like Neovim distribution in the future, but like, this is the first thing, and then everybody can stop screwing around trying to get their autocomplete to work, because I know it's taking you like weeks to get that to work. Trust me. With snippets, with auto pairs, auto completion, and all that, and then like getting your language set up, and then tree sitter, and then the indent doesn't work, and then you have to do this, and then you have to do that, and then you want to change the sign thing, and then you want to change this and that and the third. Yeah, well, now you don't have to do that anymore, and you can focus on actually getting debug adapters to work and getting the LSP better and doing all the other stuff that actually makes things work better. You know what I mean? By when do you expect Neovim or expect to have a finished thinned down version of LVim? Week, 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. Come back in 2 weeks. LV config. Yeah, I think so. I think that's. Well, here's the thing. You now have the ability to do LV config however the hell you want, right? Like, once we publish this one out, you have your own Lua file or folder in there, so you're totally free to do whatever you want, right? Plain Vim is giving me grief in certain scenarios while certain options are enabled. Interesting. Well, that was kind of an easy fix, but it's still not there because the completion's not there. Don't you need to add it to a Lua path kind of thing? If you could elaborate on that, that would be helpful. I think I know what you mean, like the runtime. I think it's the runtime. What if we just add another runtime? Like, okay, all right. So what if we do this? What if we do... And if we add... Because it's a library, right? And if we add... share LVim Lua. LVim. And it's complaining about that again for some freaking reason. O dot. Wait, did that work? Oh, we can check with O dot lang dot clang dot. Oh yeah. Yeah, we just had to add it to the runtime. Or add it as a library or whatever, not the runtime. But we had to add it, we had to add that whole thing as a library. What's the problem with Vim now? Why is that not working? Can't see the line diagnostics? What about here? Can there? This must just be picking up on nonsense. Yeah. See, that's not really there right now. That's like a weird LSP thing. Okay, so then why are you complaining about this now? You freaking nightmare. All right, let's go into config LVim. Now we're in here, and now we'll do LV config. Mutating non-standard. Oh, this is that. Okay, I'll tell you what that is. That's Lua check. So if we copy .local share LVim.lua check RC into here, and then if I open up, this is what I was talking about earlier. Look at that. And now we got this guy, and we can do O dot blah, 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 blah. Now you have all your O stuff. Now O is also going to change to LV in the future. And yeah. Everyone thought it was 0. I was like, how are you going to do 0 dot something? Yeah, yeah. Bug. When I do nvim dot and a dir, it opens an empty buffer dot. Yeah, that's not a bug with LunarVim per se. It's a bug with nvim tree. So nvim tree, please go complain about that over there because it's the thing I hate most about nvim tree. I told the guy that, and I feel like he he didn't. I'll show you what I mean. Nvim tree. What is this? Can you not do that? I think you can do that. Here we go. Oh, my boy Rafa Madrid is here. He's probably going to show exactly the thing. Good. I'm glad everyone's complaining. Let's see. Why we locked it at that commit? Maybe we should lock it at this commit. I'm trying to see what his bug is here. Yeah, see how it opens nvim tree, that other directory? I think that's his problem. We locked it there because of a relative path issue. I don't know what that is. Maybe it is a thing with LunarVim. I don't think he's using LunarVim, though. Or he might... No, he's not, because he's got a different bar down there. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to do it with, like... Well, now I can have my own nvim, like a separate one, so... I just use some Neko, Lua check, and style Lua. Alright, so we're going to keep that there. Like that. And then... That's pretty good. That's pretty good. What's wrong with this? Global variable and lowercase initial. That doesn't feel like that's true. Oh, wait. This should be outside of that. Like that. That's still hanging on to that. I think that's an nvim lint problem. Maybe we should move over to null ls. I don't know. Because now if I open up lv config, that won't be there. Okay, that's good. So now if we go to .local share lvim, and we do lazy get here. We got that we're adding. This is changing. I'm going to go take a look at that again, and that should be fine. So now let's go take a look at Lua plugin loader. And we'll get rid of these extra lines. Like that. And there you go. Decouple from Neovim's config. All right. What is the equivalent of VS Code's control-click to check where something is defined? Well, there's lots of stuff. So if we just open up the, well, that's NVim. So I think one is just GD, and you can do that. You could jump right to it. Another one would be GP, which will kind of just show you like where it's defined kind of thing. Like look at it, I guess. I don't know if it really tells you the file path where it is. There's this that tells you about how it works. You can tab in here, which also kind of tells you the same thing sometimes, sometimes not. I think if I was to do anything, I would always do GD and then just go take a look at the definition, I guess. And then I would just jump out with Control O. That would be my way of doing it, at least. What do you press to auto format again? Well, it should save with auto format. So if I just save, but it looks like that's not the case right now, but that also could, I may have turned auto format off. Oh, settings has to be updated. That's got to be updated. One second, I'll show you in a second. So if I go to Lua, core, and then dashboard. Dashboard will probably make its way out at some point. We have config path here. Instead of that, we actually want to get rid of that and put, for now, until we can come up with a new strategy for config path. Well, we'll just do that. And then dot config LVim, yeah. This is always going to be like that until I do the thing. Okay, format on save is false. So if we make that true, sure. And then now, I wonder if this works now here. That would be nice. It never works in this file. I have no idea why. It could be because of the style Lua thing that you probably want to put there as well. So if we do copy dot style Lua toml into, now we can actually put this, I think, in the directory, like in the main directory, but config LVim. And then if I do LVim, well, we'll just cd dot config LVim. That'll be config. Try this again. Nothing ever works with, I don't know why it never works formatting this file. No idea why. But if you just do this and do LF, it does format it. So just format on save, just, I don't know why, for this particular Lua file. All right. Does this still work? No, because of that. command thing. So if we look at this, we actually have to get rid of that if we want that to work. And then, yeah. By the way, like, you're fully able to write your own Lua stuff now in LV config and then just require it. So let's see. What is the equivalent? Yeah, I think I talked about that. What do you press to auto format again? LF, I think. Space LF. Go to definition. I don't know what he said. Moon landing in progress. Yeah, almost. And once we start packaging this shit up and then really cleaning up the code base, man, it'll be really cool. Is there an alternative for multi-cursor support? There's a multi-cursor plugin. But if I do git pull to update LunarVim after this change, it won't separate the config automatically, right? No, it's not going to be a totally magic process. There's going to be a little bit of you updating this and then putting your config in the LVim directory, which I'll put a sample one in there. And you could just put yours in there later. And then, truly, I will never screw with the LVim directory at all. So you won't run into that problem. And now I can safely blow away everything associated with NVim and not screw up your Neovim experience. Or blow away everything associated with LunarVim and not screw up your Neovim experience, yeah. So things should be a lot more stable now, believe it or not. Should cscope and netrw be out of vim/nvim? Yeah, I think they actually should be. netrw should be rewritten, and if I know the guys over at the Neovim team, they eventually will change netrw. I really think they will at some point. I don't think it's super important right now for them to do it, but I fully expect them to do some sort of something. Yeah, pod is, it actually kind of has. This is an app description. By the way, I noticed that if you press Z in normal mode, there is a nice witch key for proper descriptions for fold options. Yeah. So I plan to make nice witch key options for G as well. There already is that. Press G. I think it's been broken for Lua, but is just that file. I don't know. Does other files work? Maybe it's the special caching of that file for reload stuff. What do you mean by other files? This should, yeah. I mean, we added that to the path. So okay, let's do a quick test really fast. Oh, it's looking. By the way, I need to change this too because it's looking in the wrong directory. It's loaded 0 plugins. Wow, dude, this is LunarVim with 0 plugins. No. Share. Let's fix that and then I'll talk about that. So there's going to be a lot of like just really small weird things like that. Core dashboard. And the thing is this down here. Local share mvim site packer start. And so we're going to change that to mvim local share lvim site packer start. And I'd like to change this as well. I feel like this is wrong. How would it know? You would have to do something like, what is this? Who wrote this? Did I write this? I put this here. Okay. This is stupid. Wait. Why is it? That's not even. Oops. I'm gonna do that, and then we got .config nvim. We'll do lvim, and we'll do sessions. We'll keep your sessions with your config, I guess. Yeah, this one should be fine. Wait a second. Maybe that will work. I don't know. Oh, wait. Oh, it was smart and it did the thing. Okay. Let's see what else. So we got that. We got this. That's packages. Wait, does that work? It's executing this. How does it know to put that there? That's wild. All right, so that's I think done. Yeah, okay. So now, okay, there was the question, do other files work? Yeah. So let's test that out. So Lua, what's a good poster child for this? I just need something simple. Probably DAP is pretty simple. I just need like the really basic thing because I always just forget the syntax. All right, so we have a function here called config, and we're just going to print test, and we're going to change this to test, and then we're going to get rid of this function, and we're going to export m like that, or return m, and we're going to save that, and then we're going to go into .config LVim, and we're going to open up lv config config. And then we're just going to come down here and we're going to require thing, and that's going to need to be in these boys like that. We'll save that, and yeah, let's see. Oh no, how come it didn't find it? Okay, so let's think about this. So we have a Lua thing. It's in the path. Okay, actually, is it in the path? We don't know that for certain. So let's do LVim dot local share init LVim init.lua. Okay, this should be in the runtime path. Things that are in the runtime path, as far as I know, are able to have a Lua deal. But let's check. So if we do echo and runtime path, there should be some plugins in here we can look at. Is there anything like Lua that needs to be? Like this is in the runtime path for Galaxy Line. That should work. See, like toggle term. Bar, right? So, and then they have Lua things. So then why can't we have a Lua thing? I don't know. Let's think about that. That's the next thing to do. Once we get that working, then we're done. Does it just have file? Yeah. Other files work. Maybe it's, yeah. Oh, yeah, the formatting error. That's a new thing. Yeah, other files do work. I don't know why that one doesn't. Just shows the underlying commands. Yeah. Roasted myself. That happens. I think there's an command for saving LV config for reloading. Yeah, that might do that. You're right. That's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. Are you using NordTheme in your terminal? I don't know. I think the dash might be the issue with formatting, if auto formatted. No, I think he's right. I think he's right about that. How come the thing doesn't work? How come that doesn't work? It's in the runtime path. I mean, it's nice to have that there and then get rid of the Lua, but like, that should totally work. I would think. What's in here? Thing.lua. Okay, one more time. We're just going to echo and runtime. See, this one is homechris.config lvim right here at the bottom. Do you have to add Lua? Ah. That's the Vim runtime? Alright, what about that? What do you think? Do you think it's that? For like the workspace or something like that for this? So like what if we do, if we can add it with, that shouldn't be some Neko's job. That's not some Neko's job. No, it's not that. I'm stupid. Let me go back into the runtime. So close, so close. Any genius ideas? Because we get this working, then we've really taken off at that point, you know. Then we can put this thing in like the AUR, you know, like it's the last thing we need. So let's think about it. Then we're also going to have to like strip away a lot of these from the, or not a lot, but the ones that are NVIM specific. I'm curious as to how Packers like letting the other things have Lua be there. Like if let's say I did something like this. Dot local share lvim, and then if I go into plugin now, site packer start. What if I did something like make dir stuff, I cd into stuff, I make a directory called Lua, I cd into Lua, and then if I copy config lvim Lua thing into here, and then if I cd into .config, I open up this guy, I do require thing. Yeah, see, now that works because it's there. What's special about that? Do I have to add that to the pack path somehow, or? Do you think you would ever contribute to NVIM as a developer? I ask regardless of LunarVim, which is amazing contribution to the community. I have a very small contribution. I have very small contributions to lots of different plugins. Very small one to NVIM LSP config. Very small ones to various other plugins. I don't think I've ever. Yeah, I definitely have never put anything in core. I would do it. I would look into helping develop core. But first, I want to get this working so that once I have this, I have LunarVim working. I can use LunarVim to work on core. You know. So yeah, I probably would. When I renamed lvconfig to that, yeah, I think it's what DevToy is saying. I think I need to add it to the pack path. Let's see what's on the pack path. Because maybe it's just on the freaking pack path and then it's fine. So if we do, I'll just add that to the pack path and then yeah, I think we have to add that to the pack path. So if we do echo and like it's another pack path thing. Pack path. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Init.lua, yep, the thing problem. So now we got this, so we're just gonna go like this and add .config lvim. Man, I was really thinking that would have been it. Some regex path thing somewhere. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, why is Packer cool with that? Like, all right, we have it in the runtime path. All right, is there anything else that needs to be in the pack path? Like if we go echo and what are our options? It's like a Lua path. Load plugins. Path. Okay, echo and pack path. It doesn't seem to like specify nvim lua or anything like that. It's in Lua. It's called thing. It does what we need it to for the most part. I'm at a loss. You ever tried to use console before? Nah. Might be a popular idea. Space does search in current buffer. With telescope or regular search? I use space to exit which key. That's kind of smart. Yeah, but doesn't it like then just put a space? Like, I don't know. I think it should maybe like do a no op or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's think. Why the hell? This is the last thing. Of course, it's got to always be something. It can't just like come out of the box. Package preload, no file, blah, blah, blah. This is where it's looking. Well, how come it's not looking in like the Neovim one? Maybe we need to figure out how to make a plugin, and maybe like doing that will make us understand this better, because it works if you put it in as a plugin, you know. Lua.vim work? No, I don't think so. I see what you're saying. Oh, wait. I was like, wait, does he mean like that? I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I see what you're saying. Something like that. Yeah, it does. So I guess you don't need the Lua folder. You can just put whatever the hell you want in here. Is that better or worse? How do we feel about that? Does anyone have any strong feelings whether or not we should like how that should work? I know there's a bit of a delay here, so I'll give some time, but yes, is it solved? Are we okay with that, or are we not okay with that? How, like, I don't know. Gotta love the Lua module system. Yeah, how do you add that to the path of Neovim? All right, you know, I think Neovim create Lua plugin. I love all the Lua plugin developers now too. I'm so glad I invested in Vim like years ago, and I'm not like learning it from the start now. Neovim plugin that allows you to features and switch how to write yes. Okay. Sure. Fine. Data. Okay. Whatever. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Do I care? No, I don't care. Public function. Sure, the whole plugin. But what about the part where you tell me how... I mean, why would you? It's... you think right now it's more user-friendly than to, like... Runtime... Oh, here's a plugin guy. Doesn't include that, just Elvim. Gotcha. You can probably use an explicit pack add. How would I do that? I know what you mean. Like I have this. Like I understand. Can we close some of this stuff? Like, who opened all this? And here we have a pack add for packer.nvim. What the hell would how would that help me? How would that help me? Because Packer is in here. What is it adding when you do packer.nvim? Because that's cloning that into there. You think pack add Elvim, or do you think pack add the full path to Elvim? Oh, thanks, bro. You know? Thanks, dude. Hold up. Fair enough. Whatever. Here we go. Search for an optional plugin directory in the pack path and source any plugin files found. The match. Okay. From start. Note that if name is the directory name, not the .vim file. So it should be lvim. Well, we already have Lua files sourced, and that's fine. That's kind of not, I don't think, the issue. The issue is like that we don't have like, well, I mean, we'll try it. I don't know. Let's see. Let's jump back over here. It's got RTFM live. Let's see. If we do pack add, can I just like give it a path? I mean, I think it's like, I don't think it cares that much about the path. But I'm just going to give it a whole path. Like if I do .config lvim, what's the problem? Undefined global. You sure about that? Yep, you're sure about that. And the reason for that is... Oh. And execute's probably like a whole thing, isn't it? Here we go, it's a command. There we go, okay. What's the issue now? You're just complaining, you're not serious. Yeah, you are. Okay, hold up. I don't know. Pain in the ass. That's true, we could look there. Pack add lvim, alright. I don't think you can give it a path. You might have to move lvim to the pack folder. Yeah. So I'll try to give you some context. 1 second. I don't hate it the way that it is, actually, kind of. I think having a folder adds some structure. That's true, but you can do whatever you want, right? Like, if I know Lua and its module system, I would expect to be able to use... That's true, too. Don't alter it in some fancy way for LunarVim and force the user into your practices. If I know Lua and its module system, I would expect it to be able to use it. So you're saying today the way that it works is fine? Like right that second, like the way that it kind of works like normal, like, because I think it's fine the way that it is. You know what I mean? Like I actually don't see a problem. I don't see like a reason to add things into a Lua directory. Like you can just use the whole directory as a Lua directory, it seems. You know? You can still use folders, I guess, but it won't prefer that by default. You know, there's a regex thing there for Lua files. Okay, execute expects a string. Yeah. Whatever. If you say so. All right, hold up. Let's take a look at my nonsense here. Let's go back and... Okay, that's not where we wanted to go. Plugin loader. Execute does this. Honestly, execute is just this. So I could just add pack add blah blah blah, right? So if I just come down here. All right, what else is there? What else kind of nonsense is there? There shouldn't be any other nonsense. I don't understand what the problem with this is. Unexpected. What? Oh, is it just because there's nothing? Yeah. Pack add lvim. All right, here we go. Because it's pack. It's got to be in pack. That's the thing. So that I don't think that would work because it would have to be. You'd have to put all that stuff in pack. Let me try and give, if you're still here, let me try and give you some context. KD. 1 second. Yeah, let it work how Lua modules work in the Lua language. I don't want to jump through hoops to get my require imports working unless you are going to document how this magic works and not break it. I kind of agree. I think it's fine. Okay, you're interested? All right, so KD, here's what we're doing. We fully decoupled LunarVim from NVim. So if I do NVim, I have NVim. If I do LVim, well, yeah. 1 second. So let's jump back over to here again really fast. And why that was complaining just a second ago, I'm not actually sure. But it's the lua.thing thing. Wait, what? I'll show you 1 second. Let me just go clean this up really fast. Works when I'm in here, doesn't work when I'm somewhere else. What a nightmare. All right. So basically we have lvconfig in the lvim directory now, and then nvim is completely free and on its own. So we have mvim and now we have lvim, and so now they're completely separated, right? So all the config for lvim is living in lvim here. So now the user doesn't see any of this anymore. All of this stuff is abstracted, and now the user only has to do cd.config lvim, and they could just put their lvconfig in here and just use this. Now we'll get rid of ft plugin because it's not adding any context here. So now this is the only thing exposed to the user is the lvconfig. So now we have a Lua directory in here, and the way I expected this to work, because I added it to the runtime path, was that Lua would be picked up. Then I also added to the pack path as well, and I was like, okay, it should be able to find the Lua thing, right? Now the problem is that if I go in here, it doesn't actually look in that Lua directory the same way that the mvim thing would, the same way that mvim would, right? And now here's a new problem, is if I do this, and I'm in here, it's fine. But if I go home and I do this, it doesn't know about it, which is really, really weird. But yeah, so we want that Lua directory to actually behave as a regular Lua directory, I think. I think we need to do that now. I mean, for now, someone could just write everything in this one file. But that's obviously not ideal. So how do I get it to behave like a plugin? What is lvim alias to? So if you look at, I didn't even alias it. I probably should have just written it as an alias, but I just wrote it as a little bash script. .local bin lvim. And so we're just using this one in share lvim init.lua, and then we run the command to immediately set the runtime path there. And then just a 1, so it'll just take in a file, hence why dashboard's not working. The reason that I want to do this is because NVim is now completely separate. So if a user has NVim configurations, they don't mesh at all with LunarVim. So if you want your own plugins with Neovim, that's totally fine, because the plugins with LVim don't clash at all anymore. So if you go into .local share and you go into LVim and you go into plugin, or not plugin, if you go into site, you got your own thing. Like you got your own packer and everything associated with LunarVim. If you did packer with Neovim, you'd have packer with Neovim. You know? So that's kind of the issue. So now everything works with that. Okay, how about this? If I look in init.lua, how can I, you see how I'm doing a call like vim command lua file here? How can I do that for a whole ass directory? Is there a way to do that? Snippets and everything, yeah, they'll be built into LVim. They don't have to be, though. They could be taken out. But I think they should be. Yeah, that other part's pretty bad. We gotta fix that part. It's gotta work somehow, right? It's gotta have some way of working. Some intuitive way of working. Other than just one file. How can we Lua file an entire directory? How can we set that directory? So what I've tried to do is add that to the pack path, and then I've also added it to the runtime path. Now, here's the question. What about this? What if I did that earlier? Yeah, I think so. What's going on, Antonio? Yeah, no, I want to get it in at least a PPA. I really, you know what? I think this might actually fix it, but we'll see. Because I was like, why is that not working? No, I don't want to symlink that though, because I want the configs to be completely separate. Like, I want people to have NVim, and then I want people to have LVim. What's going on, Max? Glad I'm not doing this. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's almost there. It's almost there. All right, hold up. We might be on something though. If we move this here now, and then we do this. Panda's in chat. And then we'll be going to Lua, and that's still there. And we have LV config. Ah. I think that was it. I think I had it in the wrong spot. There we go. Look at that. There it goes. It does work exactly how I said it worked. I was just stupid. So now it behaves like the Neovim directory. It behaves like the mvim directory. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. All right, cool. So yeah, now it's completely decoupled. We can write packages for LunarVim now. Like we could pin all of the stuff so that there's no crazy surprises. And we don't even need to pin them with Packer. Like we could actually just clone them into those directories. We don't even need to depend on Packer to pull them in. Do we even need Packer? Yeah, we need Packer. We still need Packer. But do we need Packer to manage those plugins? Yeah, we probably still need that. Wait, what change did I do to make it work? I'll show you. Share. It was painfully stupid. See where I set the runtime path? I have to set the runtime path before I call the config. So what I was doing was I just put it at the bottom, like that, and that was obviously stupid. And so now I put it at the top, and then actually now I can put this all in one command and actually get rid of this, and then boom. So now we set the pack paths and the runtime paths, and then so what we're going to do next is we're actually going to strip all of the Neovim specific stuff out, and yeah, so that should be good. So another thing we're going to have to do is these are pack paths, these are runtime paths. So we want to also remove, this is me adding stuff to that. So we want to also remove the pack path that exists for, because otherwise that'll probably screw things up with plugins and things like that. Yeah, I'm thinking this is maybe an idea, but yeah. I'll explain in 1 second, because this is the ultimate sorcery, dude. That's a good point. Well, I don't have indent line right now. So I already asked this question. I'm currently asking this question. Soon I'll be asking this question. Oh yeah, I know. Wasn't that stupid? So anyway, so now we got the pack path for that, and then so now, yeah, now we can put this in its own thing, like, and then LunarVim can exist in package managers and completely on its own. Oh, by the way, I haven't showed you guys. Some of you guys aren't aware of this new site, by the way. It's not done yet, obviously, and I don't even think SSL is fully set up. Yep, it's not secure, but we got the LunarVim website here with all the documentation. And so, you can move through these things, but they're right on the page. And then you can go to installing, and we're going to have about stable release, rolling, all this kind of stuff, right? Just right there. You can paginate this too, so you can move through the docs like that. Go to languages, check out Java, JavaScript, Python, how to set them all up, do that kind of thing. Modules, this is going to be all Lunar modules down here. It's just going to show you how, what kind of, object you need to add to LV config or wherever you want to add that user modules thing. And then all of the, just show you best practices for pulling them in. So you just pull in plugins just by copy and pasting shit, right? We're going to have a section for developers explaining how LunarVim actually works, a community section, sponsors section. So all the sponsors will show up right here on the page. Obviously a link to the GitHub, which, that works. And then the most important feature I think is this. But let me show you a little problem with that is I need to set something up for the logo. Because the logo disappears. So we want the black one to show up there. But yeah, Simon made me an invisible background PNG logo, so we can use that here, and it's very handsome. Yeah, so we also have that going on. I don't think I showed that to some people. You like the indent line? Pull it in. You can have it. Nothing's stopping you, right? It's just that I want this thing to be so light. I want nothing. You know what I mean? As little as I can get. I want a really, really, really solid LSP and completion experience and formatters and linters. That's what I really care about. And maybe maybe I won't even have telescope. Maybe I'll have the user do telescope because now you have your own Lua file. You have your own plugins. You can pull in your own plugins. You acquire your own shit. It's fine. Maybe, but then again, you can disable it if you want to. And it doesn't slow anything down because Packer compiles everything. So having the telescope config there doesn't hurt you at all, and it's not even an eyesore now because you have your own runtime directory. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of options here, right? LVim will be available via Neuralink soon. Yeah, it is clean. It is clean. Seems it will work with Mac OS as well. You will make it available via Homebrew? Yeah, we could. I don't know anything about packaging up software though, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. This is so awesome, man. Thanks for help building this community from the ground up. Yeah, no. I needed to do this. What I learned is that it's too hard to write my Neovim config by myself. So I need a community of 1,000 people to help me do it, and so it's very, very cool that people are also interested in this. Didn't realize RTP works this way, but seems obvious now. Yeah, definitely better than symlinking, right? Isn't that cool? I knew it worked that way, and then I'm just like, but why doesn't it work? And then I realized, oh, I'm doing it like an idiot. Project's growing so fast, it's insane. Yeah, the community's great. Community's best part, because so much of this shit, I have ideas, but I don't have enough developer fingers and time to get it all done, And so when Tasty will just show up and refactor the plugins, or ABZ coding comes in and then just absolutely, just does so much and just merges a bunch of shit without me knowing, but that's super helpful anyway. Just all that kind of stuff. Rebuilt, I think he was one of the first people who came in and helped me with some of the stuff surrounding a lot of my documentation and shoring up a ton of that. And then also, he definitely has put in some bug fixes and ideas for config. James is the one that gave me the idea to even decouple this stuff at all, and probably will help a lot. He already did help a lot with the installer. So yeah, if I'm forgetting anyone, there's tons of people who've been helping with Hatsu with the better way to format things or structure the config into single files, because it was hideous the way I was doing it before. And then Tasty did the formatting stuff too, which was pretty cool. So, and then just all the issues that are put in, and then just random bug fixes and all this kind of stuff from all these different people is just wild. Most important feature, yeah. People use light mode as a special kind. Yeah, they are a special kind of special. I'll say that. If an image has not a background, it means it's a vector. It means it's a PNG with a channel. But why not have it, but disable by default? That's an option. We can talk about that in the future. Have you got Neovim Compy to work with key bindings? Mine don't work and I have an issue. I think so. I think Compy works fine for me. Dude, I want to go configure it how TJ has it configured. He has all different kinds of telescopes that pop up and all different kinds of windows, and that's how I'd like to do it. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, ABZ's a Chad, man. He does startup stuff too. Maybe I should join his startup. Learning a lot. Oh yeah, I mean, if you're learning a lot about this stuff, sure. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to do other coding tutorials and different projects and stuff too. Yeah, I want to obviously not be as good as TJ with the telescope stuff, but I want to. All the ways he uses telescope are the ways I want to use telescope so that I can use it like a Chad, you know? All right, so let's take a look at this. Oh, startup time. Yeah, I still am working on stuff with the startup time. Yeah, if we could speed that up, I'd like to be as fast as Doom if at all possible. Need more different languages, more contribute to the world. Yeah, I'm thinking about, there is a way to do that with the documentation site I'm working on right now. So there's a way that I think I can translate it immediately into, I think, Chinese or something like that. I haven't looked too close, but there's other locales that I think I can translate all the documentation into a ton of different languages, I think, with ViewPress. So I'll take a look at that. In all honesty, I think people who use light mode are wonderful since they are less likely to waste time using the computer overnight. That's a good point. But they burn their eyes out. Can you show how TJ used? Dude, TJ, I was watching one of his streams recently, and he's like, this is telescope, and this is telescope, and this is telescope, and then he opens like a little tiny window here, and then like another pop-up thing over here, and then one over there, and then one without the preview, and one with the preview, and I'm just like, how are you doing that? I obviously don't know enough about telescope. I'm not a telescope wizard yet, but I plan to get better. He also made it a lot faster. I don't know if that's updated yet or anything, but yeah. So anyway, so we subtracted that. We added that. We need to subtract that from the pack path as well. So this needs to be this, but with a minus and an n, like that. Okay. That's a few. There's going to be more that we're going to have to change. Yeah, just watch his Twitch. Go look back at some of his videos. I forget which one he was doing. I think he's the only person I follow on Twitch. Twitch. Oh, this is me. He was doing something. I don't think I'll be able to find the specific time where he did this. Because he's probably just bashing away at the async stuff he's working on here. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. But he did this one little clip where he was just like, all these different things are basically how he opens Telescope. And I want all of that to be available in LunarVim too. Like, kind of as just base config so you can swap between them all. I mean, it's probably there, but I need to be able to document it. I want to get all the knowledge, especially when I'm in grad school. I dropped out of grad school. I need a bridge variety of knowledge, not just my research area, but everything related to STEM. Everything related to STEM is a little ambitious there. Vim.opt. Yeah, that's better. I will do that eventually. Or someone can add it. But yes, thank you for this. Let me grab this. Let's get the emoji out of here before that absolutely destroys somebody. Okay. All right. If you're using TMux with Neovim, you need to look at VimMux. Just found it today and love it with it. Perfect for serious programming. Yeah, I mean, you could. What you could do is you could just add that to the list in LunarVim, and it should just pop it right up. When you can do a stream of your face in it. Right now, my hair is like down past my shoulders, and my beard is very long. So let me get a haircut first. What's the thing he opens? Who opens, me or TJ? All right, so yeah, that's fixed now. So now, what's really left? Oh, here's the best part. Like, you didn't know I was a C++ dev? I actually I did C++ at my first job, and I was a computer engineering student. So I did a ton. Now, the long hair will be gone by the time I come on camera. But I did a ton of oh, because I have long hair and a beard. I'm sitting here like, did I say anything about that? No, I'm actually a Java developer day to day at work, so close. Java developer, actually, you would think that a Java developer would have no hair just from pulling it out all day long. Okay, this works. But now here's the cool part. Really cool part. There's lots of cool parts. You can take this, right? And you can manage it on GitHub. So like you could just pull this down into LVim, and you can have your LunarVim stuff managed on GitHub, and that's it. That's how you can use it. And so you can put all your stuff in here, and then you just have a really good base layer to work with. The LV config, there might be some changes, unfortunately. I'm going to be changing the O to LV and like a couple other things. So let's see. Let's go push that stuff up. Not repos. More decoupled. Too tired to think. All right. Now is the command, though. That's the hard part, is coming up with that command. The alias, I think I should be aliasing it and not have it there. So let's talk about that. .local bin. Let's grab this. .config, no. And then I have an aliases file. What's this complaining about? Shut up, shell check. And then what we'll do is alias. I think this alias will be better. LVim equals, and we'll put one of these, and then we'll put one of those, like that. That should be better. And then now if I do rm-rf.config, rm-rf.local bin LVim. There we go. That's better. Cool. And the best part, NVim is its own thing. No more LVim and NVim. And then also Vim. And then also VI. Cool. Let's close that. It would be nice if different people's configurations were composable, but I have no idea how that would work. Well, you could just clone other people's configs now, right? Like you would install LunarVim and then you just clone someone else's config and then just boom. Should just work, right? Because there's no Packer set up anymore. Because Packer's abstracted from you. You just have to put the thing there. Where are you located? Have you thought about arranging meetups? I'm in like the South Jersey, Philadelphia area. And for meetups, I'm not really like a meetup kind of guy or a presentation kind of guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm shy. I don't know. Can we subscribe to the channel on Twitch, by the way? Like, follow you monthly? You can follow me daily. I'm here almost every day. Got to go to bed 5 in the morning here. It's fun to see you get it working. Yeah, man, thanks a lot. You were a lot of help, too. I wonder you still... I use VI sometimes. Yeah. I had to do it. Yeah, you're right. We need to get all of them. ZVim. For embedded Linux configs, that's fair. All right. Now, okay. I feel pretty accomplished after that, but there still is fixing the install script for it and probably cleaning up a few more paths. And then there's packaging it. And then after that, we'll circle back and we'll refactor some more language stuff, although the language stuff mostly works out of the box now. There's the documentation, which still needs to be written for the website. I would say by the end of August, we'll probably have a lot. One thing I often do is use snippets of code from other people's dot files. My current dot files is a mess of stuff I put together over the ages. I tried to clean mine up recently. I used to only VI, then MVI, then Vim, then MG, then GNU Emacs, then Acme. What is Acme? What is SAM? Then MVim, then VI, then VIS, then Vim, then GNU Emacs, then NVim again. Yeah, I think I'm parked in NVim, like forever. I did do Emacs. I was Vim, then Emacs, then Neovim. And then I never left Neovim. I mean, I've been in and out of other text. Like, I've used VS Code a couple times, too. It would be nice if I could use TJ's telescope setup and someone else's compy setup. Oh, yeah, like fully composable like that. That would be nice. That would be nice. Maybe in the lunar modules thing, you could, though. Like, we could pick out the coolest ones and then just give them as lunar modules. And you just pull them in. It's very... I'm going to set this up to be as composable as possible. I think you'll be surprised how composable some of this stuff will be. Yeah, Sublime Text is nice for what it is, but it's not what I'm going for. Well, I don't know what MVI is. Neovim? That'd be kind of cool. Let's push. I think we have other stuff to push up. No, we don't. Well, then we have to go into utils and open up the installer. I'd use that. Oh. Into util. Where did I go? Oh, okay, good. Utils, installer. Okay. So now the things that would ultimately have to change are where we're putting stuff. So instead of cloning this here, you would clone that into LVim site packer. And then this one would be, you can pass it a branch, that's still fine. And then where you would clone this is into, I don't know when we install Packer and when we clone the config, but the config should be cloned before we install Packer, I think. Because otherwise we're going to have problems. But anyway, so yeah, lunarvim.git.config nvim nvim. No, we want local share LVim. So now it's out of your way. Copy, here we go, from .local LVim share into local share LVim I have a feeling this stuff's going to give us problems again. Hopefully a package manager really helps me not have to write some shitty script. Lonfig. Local share overwrite will now overwrite. See, now we can't even destroy your stuff by accident anymore. Share LVim. It has the nice side effect of also getting rid of that. And cache, maybe, whatever, it's not the end of the world. What is wrong with this? In POSIX, that's undefined. I don't care about POSIX. What about this? Yeah, I know. We probably should put an if-else statement there. If, then Packer's already installed, but we actually want to do share LVim. Clone config happens. We might have to put Packer somewhere else. Yeah, we're going to have to put Packer somewhere separate, I think. We're going to have to put Packer somewhere separate and share, for sure. And Vi is a BSD rewrite of Vi that supported multiple files, among a few other things. That's nice. Terminal editor that saved my RAM usage. Fair enough. Can LVim package into Docker? Yeah, actually my really old one used to package into Docker. But I don't have that right now. I'm going to have to do this later because it's late right now, but yeah. Anyway, text has always served me well. Terminal text editor, yep. Yep. XVI, that's good. Got to drop off? I'm dropping off soon too. What are you using for POSIX linting? I can't get shell check working with mvim lint. I'm using shell check. Shell check is what's doing it. I just installed shell check globally and mvim lint just picked right up on it. Are you using LunarVim? Or are you using your own config? Anyway, you could probably ask that in Discord, and then I probably could be able to help more. So, or someone could. So, I am probably going to sign off soon. Let me just go through some of my stuff here. GitHub, you can check me out over here, sponsor me over here. LunarVim is over here on my GitHub. There's also an organization for LunarVim. There's going to be communities where you can put your LV config and all of your stuff, and I think that'll be an interesting repo in the future. Color schemes, so you'll be able to pull down color schemes and contribute color schemes. Lua crash course is coming probably later this year, explaining how to do that, unless someone wants to write it for me. Maybe Ace will write it. But yeah, so there's this stuff here. And then there is, now we have a subreddit, so if you want to come ask questions, join the subreddit. There's a LunarVim subreddit. The logo is nice and warped, so yep. What else? Documentation. There's also this cool documentation page, so you can check this stuff out. It doesn't really tell you a whole lot just yet, but in the future, this will be the place to find out everything you want to know about how LunarVim works and how to set it up for yourself with a light and dark theme. So that's important. You can check me out over on Twitch. I'm streaming there right now. I will be streaming there in the future, so make sure to subscribe there. You can support me over on Patreon. Looks like I actually got a new one, so I'll have to thank him. But yep, support me over here too if you want. I have a Twitter. You can check me out on Twitter. I'll post videos here sometimes, and usually I post things about LunarVim and when there's updates and stuff like that, and also when people do nice things for me, like logos and things like that. Follow me over on Odyssey instead of YouTube because you should be doing that. This is my YouTube studio. And I also have a website that is like kind of older. There's some, you might find some useful stuff here, but the Neovim stuff is what I think people usually came here for. But this is kind of just my blog on a bunch of stuff. You can find my social media links here, chris@machine.com. There's some useful tech stuff that you could learn here though, so check it out if you want. All right, and look, it's still MV code here. I think that's it for this stream. Let me just see if there's any other questions really fast. Own config, try LunarVim. Why is there always water running when I enter these streams? Rain is nice to listen to when I'm working on stuff. Yeah, drowning, yeah. All right, I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys in the next stream.